It's already been a week since patch 14.24 dropped, and one of the strongest compositions in the current meta is Pit Fighter Violet. Today, let's dive into the stats behind this family reroll composition. First, shall we take a look at Violet's best items? Here are the single item statistics for a 3-star Violet. To exclude irrelevant items, I set the minimum sample size to 1000 games. The delta value indicates how much an item improves or worsens Violet's average placement. For instance, a delta of -0.18 means her average placement improves from 4.19 to 4.01. Items with a delta value exceeding plus or minus 0.3 are classified as either exceptionally good or bad. Interestingly, the only item that scores plus 0.32 is Hand of Justice. This indicates that Hand of Justice performs very poorly on Violet. So, why does Infinity Edge perform so well? When giving Violet Infinity Edge, two representative items typically come into play. Among them, Bloodthirster scores plus 0.23, so it's excluded from the top choices. Instead, when Hand of Justice is chosen, Quicksilver ensures 100% critical strike chance, creating excellent synergy. Shall we now take a closer look at the commonly given item, Bloodthirster? When giving Bloodthirster, all items show similar performance, except for Hand of Justice. Now, let's consider the typical pairing with Titan's Resolve. After equipping Bloodthirster and Titan's Resolve, any item other than Hand of Justice performs similarly. However, it's noticeable that finishing with items like Edge of Night or Quicksilver yields slightly better results. This is likely due to preventing situations where units die without being able to react to stuns from champions like Shaun, Elise, Twisted Fate, Vi, Victor, and the 7 Rebel composition. So, what are the best artifacts for Violet? Most of the artifacts show overwhelming stats for Violet, but surprisingly, Spectral Cutlass performs far better than expected, even more so than Suspicious Trenchcoat and Silvermere Dawn. With the addition of 40 bonus armor and magic resist in this set 13, its item specs have significantly improved. Suspicious Trenchcoat shows great results thanks to the well-known Coat Knight Steric combo. Some players may feel insecure without Omnivamp and choose to include Bloodthirster, but it's important to remember the Coat Knight Steric combo. While all Ornn items are good for Violet, it's worth remembering that Cutlass, Trenchcoat, Mittens, and Defiance perform better than Silvermere Dawn. Now, let's take a look at which support items are good for family reroll. Support items like Aegis of the Legion, Locket of the Iron Solari, Randuin's Omen, and Banshee's Veil prove to be much more effective than aggressive items like Spite, Zeke's Herald, and Knight's Vow. This is likely because Draven needs time to stack Ginsu, and with pit fighters, as long as they don't die quickly, they can break through the opponent's frontline with true damage. While playing Violet reroll, situations like this can occur, right? Violet reaches 3-star, but Powder, Draven, and Darius are still at 2-star. At times like this, do you wonder whether to just level up or if it's better to at least get Draven to 3-star? Let's take a look at the statistics for this. First, let's look at Draven. When he's 2-star, the top 4 rate is 46%, but when he's 3-star, it increases to 59%. So, what items affect the average placement when both Violet and Draven are 3-star? As you can see, when Draven is given carry items instead of Violet, the average placement significantly improves. This shows just how important Draven's role as a subcarry is in Violet reroll. The reason Ginsu has a lower delta value than expected is because the number of games played is overwhelmingly high. The higher the number of games, the closer the results get to the average, so Ginsu shouldn't be seen as an inefficient item but rather as a core item. However, despite the fact that the number of games is 29,000, there is an item with a delta value of -0.28. That item is Last Whisper. With the rise of 6 Sentinel Academy compositions these days, it really shows how important Last Whisper is. Next, let's take a look at Darius. When Darius is 2-star, his top 4 rate is only 44%, but when he's 3-star, the top 4 rate increases to an impressive 61%. As for Darius's items, the stats show there's no significant variation, simply adding any defensive items works well for him. Next, let's talk about Powder. When she is 2-star, her top 4 rate is 50%, and when she is 3-star, it increases to 59%. Once she reaches 3-star, she certainly contributes a lot, but she is still one of the units with the least impact on reaching top 4. Lastly, let's take a look at Father Vander. When Vander is 2-star, the top 4 percentage is 47%, and when he's 3-star, it increases to 63%. If Vander reaches 3-star, it's a sign that the game is going well, but the fact that he has a 47% top 4 percentage even as a 2-star suggests that Vander's 3-star is not absolutely necessary. Looking at the items, Vander's redemption stands out with a delta value of -0.4. While giving Violet durability and healing with redemption is certainly beneficial, the reason for such a drastic change in stats is likely because of the prismatic augment, Family Crown, which grants redemption. Therefore, Vander's items are not particularly crucial. Let's take a look at the performance of Violet Reroll based on each emblem type. As expected, 8 Pit Fighter and 5 Family, which require 2 emblems, show overwhelming top 4 percentages. Even 6 Pit Fighter, which doesn't require any emblems, shows an impressive 72% top 4 rate. However, this could be because the statistics include cases where Pit Fighter emblem is used, and 6 Pit Fighter is achieved without Sevica, which may lead to particularly good results. Looking further down, for Family also shows a strong 64% performance. Now, where do 3 Family and 4 Pit Fighter stand? 3 Family shows a decent 50%, but 4 Pit Fighter shows a disappointing 42%. This indicates that Violet Reroll has a much higher chance of reaching the top 4 when 6 Pit Fighter is activated, no matter what. If we choose Radiant Refactor, which item should we upgrade? It's best to upgrade Titan's Resolve for the Radiant item. Next, let's look at positioning. The most common position for Violet is the 3rd hex from the left, which occupies a significant 26.2% of the placements. However, the highest win rate is found at the far left and right positions. If placed in the center, Violet has to go through the enemy's main tank, which makes her vulnerable to area of effect CC. Additionally, against super tanks like Bruisermundo, Violet can't even kill him after hitting him for 30 seconds. It seems that placing her on the side for backline penetration gives the highest win rate. Finally, let's look at which portals perform particularly well for Violet Reroll. Loot Subscription, Artifact Anvil, and Prismatic Party show particularly strong results. Loot Subscription has a high chance of obtaining Spatula or Frying Pan, which can be used to create the Family Emblem and Pit Fighter Emblem. This seems to lead to impressive results. Artifact Anvil, as we all know, works well with Ornn items for Violet, especially when using the Coat Knight Steric combo, which allows you to reach the top 4 even if you take a break during the game. Prismatic Party likely leads to higher placements due to the Prismatic Ticket and Artifactory. So, which portal has the worst performance? Violet Reroll performs overwhelmingly poorly in Golden Gala. The average placement increases by as much as 0.31. If anyone knows the reason, feel free to leave a comment. I honestly can't figure it out. For Violet's items, Bloodthirster is the core. Combine it with Titan's Resolve, Steric's Gauge, Edge of Night, or Quicksilver. Among these, Quicksilver has shown the best performance based on statistics. Hand of Justice has poor stats and should not be included in the final build. However, Infinity Edge performs exceptionally well, and when it is used, Hand of Justice also shows good performance. Crafting Radiant Titan's Resolve is the best choice for a Radiant item. Spectral Cutlass and Suspicious Trenchcoat are the most effective Ornn items. When using the Trenchcoat, the Coat Knight Steric combo is essential. Other viable options are Mittens, Death's Defiance, and Silvermere Dawn. Prowler's Claw ranks lower than expected since its critical strike chance is less effective without Infinity Edge. Support items that enhance durability, such as Aegis of the Legion, Locket of the Iron Solari, Banshee's Veil, and Randuin's Omen, are recommended. Powder and Vander do not need to be upgraded to 3-star. However, Draven and Darius should ideally be upgraded to 3-star. A 3-star Darius performs well without items, but a 3-star Draven benefits from items centered around Ginsu's Rageblade. Between Family and Pit Fighter emblems, the latter takes priority. While 3 Family can still work, the top 4 probability for 4 Pit Fighter and 6 Pit Fighter differs by as much as 30%. Many players prefer placing Violet in the center of the front row, but the highest win rates are achieved when she is positioned at the far left or far right corners. For Violet rerolling, portals like Loot Subscription, Artifact Anvil, and Prismatic Party work well, while Golden Gala should be avoided.